This video will demonstrate how to install Manage the PIP 4.6. On this screen, click the Browse button. Select your MetaTrader 4 folder. Once Manage the PIP is installed on my computer, I'll now open up MetaTrader 4. In order to run 4.6, I will verify that the correct version of MetaTrader is installed on my computer. A build of 401 or greater, or a date of May 1st, 2011 or greater. Next, I will verify the option settings of the MetaTrader. On the Expert Advisors tab, I will check the Enable Expert Advisors. I'll check the Allow Live Trading. I will check the Allow DLL Imports. And I will uncheck the Confirm DLL function calls. Next, I will verify the Expert Advisor has been installed by opening up the Expert Advisors folder under the Navigator. And also verify that the scripts have been installed by opening up the scripts folder. And I will see a number of scripts listed with the prefix MTP. Next, I will open up the configuration tool, which is used to change the settings of the Expert Advisor. To do this, I will click on the MTP Open Config script. The configuration tool will load the default setting, and in this setting file, there's a few changes you should double check. First is the broker's smallest lot size. This value here should be the lowest allowed lot size by your broker. The next is the default lot size. This should be the value you normally trade with. In order to demonstrate the script trading, I will turn on the order method setting and the exit line setting. And in order to demonstrate the money management settings, I will click on the money management tab and turn on the take profit method and the lock-in method. Next, I will click the Save button to save the default set. And I will close out of the configuration tool. In order to actually load the EA onto the charts, I will click the EA under the Expert Advisors folder and drag it to the charts. On the Settings window, I will click the Load and locate the default setting file that was created using the configuration tool. Highlight it and click it over. And you will notice that the 0.04 setting, which is something we changed in the configuration tool, is now loaded into the settings of the EA. The first time you run the Expert Advisor in your live account, you should enter your security code. This is the same code you received in your email when you purchased the Expert Advisor, and is the same code you use when you set up the program. Once you've entered this once and the EA is properly ran, you will no longer have to enter this code unless you reinstall MetaTrader 4. If you see a smiley face in the top right corner and no error messages on the left side, you know that the Expert Advisor is running properly. In order to open a trade with a script, you can simply double-click on the script or drag and drop it to the charts. In the top right corner, you will see the indication of what the EA is going to perform. Once the chart refreshes, it will pick up the buy and open up the trade. The Expert Advisor will take over the trade, assign the default stop loss and default take profit, and manage the trade. In order to clear this before the chart refreshes, you can click the Clear script. When the chart refreshes, the trade will not enter. You can also open up limit and stop orders with the scripts by clicking and dragging the script onto the chart. Where you release the script is where the line will start and draw. Once on the screen, you can adjust these trend lines at angles. In order to clear the lines off the chart, you click the Clear Script. Next, I will show you how to use the Expert Advisor in the Strategy Tester of MetaTrader 4. First, I will want to create a profile for the Strategy Tester, and I'll do this by clicking on the MTP Open Config tool. You can see the default setting file which we used to load on the live charts. Now I want to create a setting file for the Strategy Tester. I do this by clicking on the tester folder, right-clicking, and click New Profile. I'll name this Test. I double-click on the test profile, and now my settings have carried over from the default set. I will verify these settings and then click Save. Now close out the configuration tool. In order to open up the Strategy Tester in MetaTrader 4, I will click on the Strategy Tester icon. I will select the Expert Advisor 4.6, manage the pip, the currency, every tick model. I'll check the use date, pick the date range, and I'll check visual mode. On the Expert Properties button, I will load the profile that I saved using the configuration tool, Test. Click OK. After hitting Start, it will open up the charts. And now I'm ready to use the scripts on the Strategy Tester. I can double click on the scripts just like I would do in a live chart, or click and drag and it will open up a trade in the Strategy Tester. I can speed up time, and as you see here, you see the trade opened up and took 21.34.54 pip take profits, and is locked in at 1 pip below the open price. I can close these trades. I can put limit and stop and buy orders. So once price hits that line, it'll open up a trade. I can use exit lines to close the trade out once the price hits that line. The Strategy Tester is a great tool to test out the different settings of Manage the Pip. In order to adjust the settings using the Strategy Tester, you'll have to stop the current run, open up the configuration tool, open up your profile, adjust your settings, save your profile, and then reload it into the Strategy Tester. Now I have the trailing stop method turned on in the Strategy Tester, and I can check that method. This concludes the Manage the Pip 4.6 installation video.